welcome back to my channel and welcome back to Weekly Reads, where I talk about the books that I read in the past week and the ones I'm reading currently. Also, it's a cozy Tuesday night while I'm filming this, and that's why the light is like this. And yeah, I mean, it's like a nice cold night and I'm going to be like bundling up under my blankets and sleeping. So it's cool, the weather is nice and it's like very relaxing as well. So basically, in the past week, I only finished one book, and that is Tisha Philyor's The Secret Lives of Church Ladies. And oh my god, this book, chef's kiss, dude, like chef's kiss. And I do this for like a lot of books in general, but then this book has this special, like, you know, it has a very feminine chef's kiss. Okay, I hope that made sense, but I don't think it did. Even I don't know what am I talking about. But anyway, this book is about this book is a bunch of short stories about women who are actually church-going ladies, or who know church-going ladies, and these particular church-going ladies are basically indulging themselves in the sins, like in the sins of the religion that they follow, like homosexuality or adultery and things like that. So it's very interesting. I think there's a story with gluttony in it. So it's like a, how do I call it? Like being an Indian and kind of reading the book puts things like, you know, it's like it just transcends a lot of cultures in general. Like, although we are talking about Christians who go to church and who are these black women who are like, you know, talking about what they're doing. They never, you know, regret that particular aspect. They're just like, you know what, we do this, and if it's someone who knows someone, they're like, oh, you know what, she does that. And yeah, so you're getting my point. Like, it's a very, very nice book and it's a must read, I think. And what I love about the book is that it's not difficult to grasp, right? It's like a very easy concept explained to you in the most ironical way ever, but then the book never tells you that it's an irony. And that's what I really loved about it, because being an Indian, reading the book, I just felt like I was a ghostly spectator, like standing among our characters and, you know, being like, ah, okay, cool, that's what you're doing. Okay, you're going to church. Oh, cool. Oh, you're a homosexual. That's okay, that's cool, that's cool. And yeah, that's how I felt entirely. Like, that was my reaction during the entire book. It's a great book. I highly recommend it. And yeah, I mean, I wish I could give it like 5 stars. I give it 4 on 5 because I feel like it should have been a bit longer. But then, you know what? For whatever it is, it's a treat. Okay, highly recommend it. Okay, so now I've spent 3 minutes just gushing about this particular book. Let's get to the books that I'm reading currently. So the first book that I'm like way through, I think 66%. My tripod's gonna shake. Yeah, so it's this one. This is Nisha Susan's The Women Who Invented Facebook and Other Stories. So this is again a set of short stories, and this is my short story book of the month, which I'm not finished yet because it's the last week of Jan. And what am I doing? I don't know. Okay, so basically, like, I can tell you, I'm done like with more than I'm done with 66% of the book, yes. And there are like so many good you know, short stories here that I really liked. And it's a very, very different book again, because you know, like, I don't know, I think I would like to call, so having read Tisha Philyor and her work now, and like, it's very iconic, right? And I think Nisha Susan is also very similar to Tisha Philyor, but like in her own terms per se. Okay, so it's not that I'm comparing them like purposely, it's just that it just struck me after reading Church Ladies that she also writes in a very, like, she writes about similar taboo topics in the Indian society. And yeah, that's that. So this is a nice book. I recommend this, but let me just finish all the stories and then maybe I'll be like, okay, cool, this is like 5 on 5 or 4 on 5. Currently it is a 4, so that's that. Then the next book that I'm like way through 65% and I'm reading it like on an on and off basis is The Last Thing You Surrender by Leonard Pitts Jr. And this is again, like, this is one of those books which actually kind of, you know, you have to like take a break from it, because there are so many like triggering things that happen in the book. And it talks about the Jim Crow era when there was segregation, and World War II, the bombing of Pearl Harbor, and it talks about all of our characters. And you know, none of our characters, like one of my realizations while reading this book has been, none of our characters are like on the sidelines. Like everyone you see in the story has their own backstory, and that's what I like about the book. I thought earlier that it's just going to be about the characters at Pearl Harbor, that is at the start of the book, because the book starts with the bombing of Pearl Harbor. But as and when you move ahead, you'll realize how the other characters also play an important role in the story, and it's not just the, you know, characters that you see at the start of the book, which is very unique for a book, I must say, because I have not seen any book that's concentrated on like every character for that matter. It's like reading a bunch of short stories, but these are not like short stories. You have to know everyone, how are people interconnected in order to know their story. So it's a well woven story, and I like it so far. Now the next book that I'm reading currently, which I think I have like finished about 60%. I'm like, soon, you know, this is like a buddy read with Sean the Book Maniac, and it's Trying to Grow by Firdaus Kanga. So this is semi-autobiographical semi-autobiographical story about you know, the author and how he kind of overcame his disability, and it talks about like snippets of his life and things like that, and his first crush. You know, it's like a nice one, and as well the humor is nice, and yeah, it's a good book. I do recommend it. Okay, although I don't know where is the story flowing now, because last 2 weeks we were like getting these snippets from his family life, his friends, his crush, and stuff like that, and also his sexuality for that matter. But this week it's just, I don't know, like this is like the last part of the book, right? It's the last part of the book, so I don't know where are we going. So I like that one too, and yeah, this week I'm gonna finish the book anyway. So that's it. Oops, my book fell down. Okay, so I picked up the book. I'm back, and the next book that I'm reading currently is this one, The Annihilation of Caste by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. And I must say, I really like this book, and I'm filming this on Tuesday night. So Tuesday night is the night of Republic Day, and yes, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar is the man who wrote the Indian Constitution. And the point is that, like, it's so, I don't know, like, it's very iconic, right? Because you hear the person who wrote the Constitution of India talk about a whole, you know, social reform that India needs, that Hinduism needs, and it's just iconic, dude. And honestly, like, let me just tell you, I'm kind of like somewhere, yeah, I mean, I have these many pages left. Like, you see these many pages, and I have to even read the introduction, because Manya, so basically this is like a group read hosted by Manya and Smriti from Sant Reads. So basically Manya had suggested that, like, there is an introduction by Arundhati Roy here, so she has suggested don't read that first, read the speech and then read it for like good context, and that made sense to me, so that's what I'm doing. So I have like this much plus like this much like left, like this much, makes sense? I don't know. So again, I'm enjoying this book so far, and I highly recommend it to anybody. So if you want to understand caste, this is a nice book to understand it, and like he talks about a lot of social reform in order to get caste out of the whole way. Also, I'm kind of like doing a lot of, I would say, you know, considering that I've been reading The Last Thing You Surrender by Leonard Pitts Jr. and this book, there's a lot of things that's like kind of intermingling, and I kind of know that this has been covered in Isabel Wilkerson's Caste, which I've not read yet. So yeah, it's interesting, and I would like to talk about that connection once I read all the 3 books. But yeah, you know, if you are an American, or if you want to understand segregation much better, I think this is also a good book that you can pick up, because it talks about, like, you know, basically like the Indian society was segregated by caste, is kind of still in places where there is not much education. So I recommend it if you want to understand segregation and, you know, that kind of social injustice in general. So yeah, that's that. And the final book that I'm reading currently, and I actually started this recently, and that is the one, this is something I want to read since a very long time on audio, and it is The Only Plane in the Sky an oral history of 9/11. And so when I had you know gotten into this wormhole of reading books regarding 9/11 in December, if you remember. I mean, if you've been following me and you know that. So yeah, so the thing was that in that particular video, I think Rainier was one of them. Rainier, I remember Rainier commenting this. I hope I'm pronouncing his name right. So he's Rainier Books. Okay, so he had commented that I should read The Only Plane in the Sky, an oral history of 9/11, and I said yes, like I want to read it. I've been meaning to read it since a very long time, but I couldn't get it, but I finally have it now, and I'm listening to it, and oh my god, like they literally have the flight recordings on the audiobook where people are like I was so surprised that I could hear the voice of the terrorists on the flight, and that just like sent chills down my spine. I mean, this is not an audiobook that you can read when you're like, doing house chores, because that's generally how I do with audiobooks. But this is an audiobook that you have to like have your full concentration, because it fucking sends chills down your spine, dude. I mean, they have little recordings from the cockpit, and it's like a 45-member cast reading out the book to you. Again, like even if you're not interested in 9/11, listen to it. Like, this is real. Whatever has happened is real. It's like listening to a documentary as an audio, and that just like I, you see my face right now. Like, it's just, dude, damn, what am I listening to? And so I'm at the part where where they're playing these recordings from the cockpit, they're playing these recordings from the flight. So yeah, that's that. Okay, so yes, that's it for my weekly reads this week. Yes, so I hope you're having a nice reading week as well. And I don't know, we are already almost down with the first month of 2021. I don't know how is that happening. I don't know. But anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on my Sunday upload. Bye.